Okay, so good morning, Kate. We're here with the wonderful Kate Vernon, who is probably best known for our viewers from Star Trek and from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Welcome to
Thank
England.
you.
Welcome to the Sci-Fi Ball. We'd like to start off just asking you about Battlestar Galactica.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know anything about the show before you joined, and how did the role come to you?
That's wind.
Yes.
Back there. Very strong wind. I certainly knew about the show growing up, and but my brother was the Trekkie in the family and the sci-fi guy in the family, so I'd always see it as I'd pass through the living room, or whatever, because he was watching it. And Lauren Green was a friend of the family,
Right.
So he was always over, and that was really the extent of my knowledge. So when I had this audition, I was like, whoa, what is this? What is this? What is this? And played the couple of scenes, then went on vacation to the cottage and got a call saying that I'd gotten the offer.
Wow.
And I was like, yay. And flew to Vancouver. Really had no idea what I was stepping into. I didn't know the sci-fi universe at all. I was definitely a newbie. And Edward James Olmos opened his arms, saw me at the studio lot, and said, "Welcome aboard." It was very sweet. I mean, hugged me, and gave me all the CDs of everything they'd shot so far, the episodes, and said, "Turn around and go back to your room and watch this.
Yeah.
And get a sense of what you're involved with now." And I wept. I wept. I was just like, this is beautiful. This is filmed so beautifully, and the relationships and the writing and the characters and and I'm thinking, well, who's Ellen Ty in all of this? Because,
Sure, yeah.
And I was only supposed to do 2 episodes.
You obviously made an impact.
I did. So when I met Michael Hogan, my first day, we just clicked. Like, we just had this ridiculous chemistry where, everything we did was supported by one another and safe.
Yeah.
And so we had a playground where everything within that boundary, within that world, was completely safe to explore. And we had each other's backs as actors. And that kind of freedom opened me up for my first scene, which was the dinner table scene.
Yeah.
Massive scene where I meet everybody for the first time. And Eddie was directing, and he kept the producers away because they're like,
yeah.
And he just kept them locked away and gave me the time to kind of like a flower, just like everything just started to open and open and open, and I'd be relating to these different people, and I didn't know it at the time, but I was planting the seeds for future Ellen episodes.
Absolutely.
And what the producers learned in that scene was she is the destabilizer.
Yeah.
And how hot is that?
That's a great role to play, isn't it?
Yeah. And, sometimes when you get these auditions and you get the job, it's so fast. You have no time to do your homework on a larger scale.
Sure.
So it was meant to be. I mean, I really just fell into this incredible experience, and they wrote for me, and they created, and they would plop Ellen into a scene, and all the other characters would be like, "Oh no, what's going to happen?"
So being the agent provocateur must be a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much. She's my favorite character. I mean, because she was naughty. She was dangerous. She was just really smart. She was sexual. She was everything. She was playful. She was a hot mess.
Yeah.
But
it was always wonderful to have a sit down to watch a scene with Ellen in, because you knew that it was going to be something was going to happen. It was never going to be a very just normal let's walk through the ship scene. It was going to be something quite special to see.
I had a ball. I just had a ball.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is about the cast, really. So as an actress, do you find it easier to work with fewer people on a set where you'd have fewer interactions, or do you find having a bigger cast with more people brings more to you to work with?
Well, the second.
Yeah.
For sure. But then you just break it down.
Right.
Scene by scene. You can't be with, like, you're not, I wasn't in, no, but not everybody was in a scene all together at the same time with me really very often at all. And I had very little interaction with a lot of the cast because I was mostly with Michael Hogan or Adama. You can even hear me.
We should do the ship shaking
kind. Exactly.
It's just silence.
It's my family. It's okay.
Fantastic.
We'll be safe. So, with the relationships, it's you just take it one character at a time. You know, you and what is our relationship and what do I want from you, and you know, and Ellen always had an agenda.
Sure.
Because she was bored.
So with more characters, is it something that you stay within your character and they kind of feed off of you rather than you having to adapt to them?
No, because it's a play. It's you just play back and forth off of what they're giving you.
So it just becomes a natural dance, really, I guess.
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, you know who you are and you know what you want.
Yeah.
And then the fun part is as well, how am I going to go for it?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what Ellen's beauty was, you know, she wasn't an officer. She wasn't in the military at all. She was a civilian. Mm. So she was free to, you know, be anything.
Absolutely.
Like go after it in any way. She didn't have to behave in a certain way at all. I mean, she should have, but you know, just too smart and bored. And very low on her husband's priority list, which really upset her.
Yeah, not good.
No.
Well, dragging you back to civilian life, yesterday you told us about your dogs. You have a very unusual naming convention for your dogs. Could you tell us about that?
Oh, I know, right? So, they're long-haired dachshunds. Legs Diamond.
Yes.
Has crossed over the Rainbow Bridge.
These are like sort of racehorse names, aren't they?
Well, Legs Diamond is an actual gangster, was an actual gangster.
Right.
But my ex-husband has a hilarious, wicked sense of humor. And, you know, this we got this dog. It's a dachshund, but it was this big, and the legs were like this big. and it was like, yeah, Legs Diamond.
That works.
Like gangster. And it's like the cutest little thing. And they the weird thing about dachshunds is they grow like this. You know? It's like, I'm used to dogs growing like this. They just kept getting like longer. And then we got the other dachshund and my stepdaughter, his daughter wanted to call her Lucky. And then I was like, oh, not Lucky Knuckles. She had really stubby, knuckly legs. So there was Lucky Knuckles.
Yeah.
Legs Diamond and Lucky Knuckles, they were fantastic dogs. And then we rescued a Havanese, and she became Ladybug Ferguson, and the Three Musketeers. Yeah. Ridiculously adorable.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you're starring in the new American drama series, The Morning Show. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm not starring in it.
Really?
Oh no. No, I'm co-starring and I'll just spoiler alert. Most of my stuff ended up on the floor, sadly. But so proud to be a part of that wonderful experience. I mean, It's a super smart show and very current with all the issues going on right now. And pretty female driven, with Mimi Leader and
indeed.
And the blanking on names because they haven't slept. But then of course Jennifer and Reese.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a fantastic group of people.
Yeah.
Wonderful actors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday, at the end of your talk, you spoke very much about your charity work with, I forget the name of the charity, forgive me,
Wildlife
the Elephants.
Wildlife SOS.
Yes, would you like just to tell us a little bit more about that to reach out to the people that we can reach for you?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yeah, Wildlife SOS. It's a sanctuary in northern India, and They rescue animals in distress. Geeta and Kartik are the heads of this beautiful organization, and Geeta started this movement which began with just her heartbreaking seeing these dancing bears.
Yes.
Just horrifically mutilated with the ring in the nose and led by that, and these animals were just used for human entertainment and income for these families, but the bears were being destroyed, and
the most inhumane treatment.
horrific, and they went the route of the logistics and ended up changing the laws and making it illegal to do this. But they don't just take the animals that are used for human entertainment away from the people that are using it to make a living. They re-educate the people, and they give the people skills. They teach them skills and other ways to create a sustainable living, and that makes the movement that they're doing actually quite sustainable. And for the elephants, these elephants have been in captivity their whole lives, 50
decades,
70 years, some of them.
Wow.
70 years. So this is horrific as well, but the only way a human being can get on top of a 20-ton animal is to take that elephant away from its mother as a baby and then brutally torture that animal and whip it and kick it and poke it and hurt it for 7, 8, 9, 10 months until its spirit is broken. And then it just is like, do whatever you want with me, just stop hurting me. And then from there, they chain them up, they put barbed wire, really gnarly, like pokey things as thick as your fingers and sharp into their legs, and they're chained up for their whole lives like that. And the same with the temple elephants. And you think, oh, how beautiful, they're just painted and they've got these beautiful tapestries on them. Yeah. They've got a barbed wire chain around their neck under the beautiful tapestries, and if it does this, it's gouged.
So we can put up a link so that people can come and find Wildlife SOS.
You have to refuse to ride. Yeah, please put up a link for Wildlife SOS, and any kind of donations helps them tremendously. They're the first organization that has an elephant ambulance, and they risk their lives. They also rescue the cobras, the snake charmers, because those snakes are tortured to perform. I mean, it's really rough. And so a lot of times what happens is that the elephants' caretakers, they're called mahouts, they're re-educated and they learn to actually take care of the elephant, and their whole relationship changes, and they've been folded into the organization, and it's just fantastic. So the whole thing is, it started from Geeta's heart breaking, and then Kartik, just out there as a renegade trying to help, and they came together, and this beautiful organization has grown. So lots of ways to donate. Elephants' feet get really mangled, and a lot of them have gangrene and just tremendous foot problems. So anyone out there want to buy a Valentine present for Ellie's, you can buy them pedicures, and they get these insane, foot treatments, and all the money goes directly to the animals.
Okay. We'll make sure we put a link on the video.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Hopefully we can start a few donations.
Very important work.
Absolutely.
Thank you for appreciating it. It is.
Of course. Thank you very much. That's all the questions we have for you today.
Well,
so
awesome.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You
it's been a real pleasure.
Much. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.